Hi, this is Bill Kearns from Blue Kernel IT. This is a very quick demo on using Bootstrap. And after I spoke with the recruiter asked me if I had a few years experience using Twitter Bootstrap. I've worked with it during my last project. That was about a 4-month piece. And beyond that, I'm familiar with JavaScript, Angular, jQuery, CSS, CSS3, ASP.NET, MVC. The reason I'm putting this demo together is to show you I can use Bootstrap, and I'm familiar with it, and I'm also familiar with the other underlying technologies that it has to play nicely with to make a nice looking page. So here's a single page HTML application, HTML page, not really an application I have. I'm using a CDN to implement the style sheets. There's 2 links and another CDN for the Bootstrap script. So this is Bootstrap 3.1.1. During my last job I used Bootstrap 2.3.2. So I basically took this example code right off the Bootstrap page and added a single class to it called testimonials. It's very simple to use. So with the class testimonials I added, you can see I'm using the rounded border radius to show the size of the borders for this. So the question the recruiter asked was about responsive design. Responsive design uses CSS3 using the @media keyword to adjust the elements on the screen natively in the browser. So if you notice, as I change the browser window, the CSS adjusts these elements to what I have in my Bootstrap code. Here is a different version where, if you notice, it doesn't look the same. Well, this version in the project, you have to really be familiar with CSS and how your standard CSS using margin and padding will affect your Bootstrap code. So they don't really play nicely together, especially within the container. If you notice, here's the container. I'm using container fluid. So I'll go ahead and fix that and then go ahead and look at it in the browser, and voila, it's back to its original size. For any custom implementation that your company has, you'd use the @media CSS3 keyword, and this is kind of browser wide. Whatever you put in here, if the screen size is whatever you define here, these CSS rules would go into effect. So if you wanted to test for your application, it was supposed to run in a particular mobile device, which a lot of students use. Right here, built into Google Chrome, is the device emulator. You can choose from a whole list of common display sizes. So you could test this page to see what it would look like in that particular device. So the Google Nexus 10 is rather large. Let's try a Samsung Galaxy S4. It's a pretty popular phone. And that is what this page would look like. Looks like it needs some work. These classes are a little too big for that. But that's the whole idea with responsive design. It uses CSS3 to modify the page size. So beyond that, I wanted to take a look at another example. Here I have my own web page, which I'm using Bootstrap, Angular, and jQuery. I have some different tabs and things. Here I'm using the jQuery model. If you notice, I click it and it says this device is not ready. Well, I go ahead and look at the source code. Well, nothing looks like it's wrong. Here's my master page and some other things, and my site.css has some homegrown styles, just a bunch of border radiuses and div areas. Well, what's wrong? Well, knowing the whole picture, knowing ASP and everything, this particular example, I would need to move my content template, script manager, and update panel up to the top of the page, this is where they were. So you'd really want a developer who knows part of the big picture here. So if I go ahead and save that and reload, my model works. Some other things I picked up along the way. Angular is a brand new cutting edge library written in JavaScript. You use it to implement MVVM, model view, view model architecture. So here I have an ASP.NET site, and I have some Angular script. This is an Angular script I have Here I'm doing an AJAX call to send an email. So you'd want someone that knows the whole picture, writes JavaScript and CSS, along with HTML5. HTML5 was mentioned. Here's a new HTML5 element, the header. Here's a section. I don't think I used any ordered lists, but along with the traditional unordered list, there's an OL ordered list, so you can change the style with that. Whole bunch of new things, CSS3 and HTML5, Bootstrap, and Angular. Here is a CSS3 media font, where using CSS3, this is outside of just Bootstrap. I actually download fonts to the browser, so you can use any font on your web page. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this demo. If you'd like to see anything else, please let me know. Thanks for your time. Bill Kearns, Blue Kernel IT. Take care.